here I am with a new video. I have to tell you the truth, I need to thank my friend Laura because she gave me the idea of this video. Because some time ago we were talking about my YouTube channel and she told me, well, you know, I've watched all your tutorials, the tutorial about floating, about dry brushing, about stippling. So now I want to start painting, but what should I do? I mean, what should I buy or where should I start from? And actually she made me realize that I have been recording videos and videos about techniques, but I have never done a video about what you need if you want to start with decorative painting. So I want to tell you this is not a video about techniques, it's just a video about the basic things that I suggest you to have if you want to start with decorative painting. So let's see together what you need. Alright, so let's see together what you need to start with decorative painting. First of all, you need to have the pattern packet, and in the pattern packet you have all the instructions you need to paint the project. You can find my pattern packets on my website and also on my Etsy store. This one in particular is a free packet that you can download for free on my website, and just go on the free pattern section. And for this project there is also a Facebook Live on my Facebook page where I show you how to paint this design step by step. I'm sorry the live is in Italian, but I always like to say that art is an international language, so I'm sure you will be able to understand some things also by watching. And in the pattern packet you have all the instructions to paint the project and also the line drawings to transfer on your surface. And this is very important because many times I hear people saying, I can't draw, I'm not gonna be able to do it. And you know, with decorative painting, you don't need to draw because you have the line drawings already and you just need to transfer them on your surface. So something you need also is transfer paper that allows you to trace all your line drawings and to transfer them on your surface, or you can also just simply print the design on the transfer paper. And this one is also another free pattern that you can download on my website. And for this design too, there's a live on my Facebook page. That's in Italian as well, I'm sorry, but I'm sure it will be fun to watch. And speaking of transferring the guidelines, you also need to have graphite paper that can be black or gray or white according to the background you have underneath. So let's suppose I have a light background. I'm gonna place my line drawings. It would be better to actually fix or secure with some tape, but it's okay. So what I'm gonna do is I place my graphite paper underneath, so between the surface and the transfer paper, and then I take this is a stylus, and I'm just going to transfer my guidelines like this, like so. And the nice thing is that you can use the graphite paper many times, so you will notice that it's it's time to change the graphite paper when you transfer the lines and then you don't see anything. So this is the time when you have to switch to another sheet. And speaking about the basic things you need, well, of course, a regular pencil and a regular eraser. As I mentioned before, the stylus that allows you to transfer your guidelines, but it's also useful for other things. For example, to make dots or to paint the eyes of your, for example, of a snowman or of a Santa. So it's very useful. And then also the white pencil. This is a chalky pencil and it's very useful, for example, if you have to do things on dark backgrounds. This is the graphite paper. I shouldn't write on it, but it's okay. Let's suppose this is your surface. You can, do small things with your white pencil, and if you don't like it, you just remove it with your eraser, or also with just a tiny bit of water, it comes right off. Now, speaking about painting, what you need for sure is the palette paper to prepare your brushes and your floats and your paint in general. There are many brands of palette paper out there. They are all good. Basically, there's the white palette paper and the gray palette paper. And my favorite actually is the gray one, just because when I'm working with very light colors, I can see better what I'm doing. And another thing I suggest you to have is the water basin. Mine is actually really dirty and used, but I bought this when I began painting, so it's about 15 years ago. But anyhow, it's very, very useful because, as you can see, it has two different sections and you fill it with water, just cover the half of it. But anyhow, you have two sections. This one has a kind of grid at the bottom and it's very useful to clean the hair of your brush while you're painting. So you're gonna have the dirty water here, and here you have the clean water and you just rinse your brush out and then you're ready to go. While here you have this kind of holes of different dimensions. They can be used to just place your brush like so while you're painting and you need to change the brush. But personally, I never use them. I always like to put my brush on the table, but that's up to you. And of course, we need paint. This is acrylic paint by Deco Art Americana, and it's my favorite paint at all. For many different reasons, actually. First of all, because it really lasts a lot. I mean, I have for sure colors that I use more frequently than others, but the colors that I don't use very much really last a lot of time. I have been using colors for years, the same bottle. What's important is that you close the bottles correctly and that you shake the bottle before using the paint, because then the paint can mix well. More or less is like when you're about to drink some orange juice, that it's better to shake it, right? So more or less it's the same. And another reason is that they have a really good coverage. I mean, when I use this paint to base coat my surface or to base coat my elements, it really takes me a couple of coats. Of course, there are some colors that cover faster than others, but it really saves me a lot of time. And another reason why I like this paint that much is that it has the perfect viscosity, the perfect formula. I mean, it's not too liquid and it's not too thick, so it comes out of the bottle just like the way I want it. So it really makes my painting much easier, because I don't have to waste time while preparing my paint for floats, for dry brushing, or for many other different things. So it's just perfect. And last but absolutely not the least, we have brushes. This is only a small portion of the brushes I use when I'm painting, but as you can see, there are different types and different sizes of brushes. I could actually talk about brushes for hours, but the only suggestion I want to give you right now is to try as many brushes as you can, because brushes are something very personal. I mean, I always like to say that for me brushes are like shoes, because I always want to have more, and you need to try brushes as well as you need to try shoes, you know. So in my tutorials or in my pattern packets, I suggest you to use the brush that I am more comfortable with, but you need to find the right brush that works for you, because what works for me may not work for you. So try as many brushes as you can, and I'm sure you will find the perfect brush for you. Alright, so I hope you liked this tutorial and that you have now a better idea of what you need to have if you want to start with decorative painting. I'm gonna write down in the description of the video all the links, so where you can find my packets, or where you can find paints or brushes or all the other things I've been showing. Please let me know if you have any questions or any comments, and if you won't always be updated with my tutorials, just subscribe to the channel. So bye for now, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Ciao!